standard he holds himself to.
Well, quite honestly, I hope he's not disappointed. I mean, he's been giving them major contributions on a daily basis.
The Hawks trail by 5. And Ginobili Clark, when he's right, boy, he can do it all.
Yeah, he really can. Offensively, he can drive and shoot and create for others. He's an outstanding passer and a terrific defender.
Here's Bazemore. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Clock at 4. The dish to Scott to end the run. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Mike Scott, a second-round pickup for the Hawks. He's gotten an opportunity with their injuries. Just about doubled his minutes last season. A consistent offensive threat off the bench. And he's improved that three-point stroke as well.
And for Scott, where he still needs to improve is on his defensive side.
Exactly, Kevin. A little more than a speed bump on the low block, and his rebounding numbers fell drastically last season. He's already 26 years of age. His upside, I still think it's there, but not as much as we thought initially.
And he makes the first, but misses the second. Now the Hawks were in a bit of transition last year, that phase of their development. But one area that they really struggled was getting wins on the road.
And that's always hard to do. They were very average away from home this season, right in the middle of the playoff pack.
Now here's Ginobili. Joseph, the pass to Bellinelli. No good.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
And with Atlanta on the road, they didn't really play too terribly, but they just didn't close out games away from home when they needed to.
Here's Joseph. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
And it's off the back rim, no good.
You know, winning on the road is often about the little things, and that's where Atlanta came up a bit short last year and why they ended up with only 14 road wins, the lowest of any playoff team in the East.
Now, here's Scott. Manu Ginobili able to get his shot to go. Bazemore dishes to Brand. Takes the turnaround J. The shot is off. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And Joseph kicks to Diaw. The feed to Ginobili. Pass to Bellinelli. Back to Ginobili. Now the pass to Bellinelli. He dishes it to Joseph. Beats the shot clock, but can't get it to fall. And the horn signals the end of the first. Not much offense so far. Spurs lead by 2. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
Tuesday, November 11th, Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Don't miss it.
It's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
The Hawks trailer. Bellinelli and Leonard are on the wings. Splitter is out there with Jeff Ayers. And it's Joseph in at the point. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs.
Can't say I'm surprised that one didn't fall. He can barely dunk it in the pregame layup line.
Here's Leonard. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Leonard's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Spurs. The Hawks trail by 4. Here's Teague. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. San Antonio with the ball. Their next game is at the Rockets Arena in Houston for a game with the Rockets. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And Joseph kicks to Leonard. Goes up off the pick, and that one is stuffed right through.
One of the oldest plays in basketball made that dunk possible.
That's right, a terrific screen right there. Steve allowed him to lose his man and rock it to the rim.
Well, don't you love to see players working together in that fundamental play? Fun to watch.
Here is Korver. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Teague. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
Now, here's Joseph. Here's Bellinelli. He feeds it to Joseph. Lock at 6. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Well, we've got a moment to look back to last year's Spurs right now. First in assists, first in three-point shooting, and they were number 2 in field goal percentage. This is a team that got good shots on a regular basis and knocked them down.
And Clark, what you talked about that really resonates with me is the assists, because they were the best in the league. Clearly a result of wonderful offensive execution and, of course, unselfishness. It didn't seem to matter who was taking the shot. That team always tried to find the open man.
And that one's good. Millsap.
Greg Popovich with 15 straight 50-win seasons as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. What a remarkable streak of success. And I don't really think folks understand what that level of consistency embodies. He's widely regarded as the best head coach in the NBA, and for good reason. He's the full package as a head coach.
Atlanta with the ball, trailing by 2. Teague, the pass to Horford, feeds it to Korver. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Millsap sets the pick for Teague. Pass to Millsap. 5 to shoot. Here's Teague, and that's an air ball. Not even close. Spurs have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the 7th. Kicks it to Leonard. Up off the screen. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and it'll go to the line.
Kawhi Leonard has been talked about and mentioned as the future of this San Antonio Spurs team. 23 years old is all he is, and already a great defender and a much improved shooter from his days at San Diego State.
And for Kawhi Leonard, we know about his defense, but you think, Steve, he can become a go-to offensive player?
Well, he's going to need to, Kevin, when Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan move on. This is going to be Kawhi Leonard's team, and I thought what was interesting was the Spurs gave him more of a burden last year offensively. They started to give him more and more looks isolation-wise down on the block, and he's developed at a beautiful rate. He's coming into his own.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Duncan, he's checked in for Jeff Ayers. Austin Day comes in for Marco Bellinelli. Dennis Anderson in for Corey Joseph. Well, Kawhi Leonard drafted 15th overall, Clark, back in 2011. The pick acquired from the Indiana Pacers in a trade for George Hill.
And you know, at the time, Manu Ginobili said that he really didn't agree with the trade, made him angry. He had a real strong relationship with George Hill and liked his game. I'm sure a lot of Spurs fans felt the same way, but even as Hill remains a heck of a player, the Spurs fans have to be happy. As a matter of fact, they are ecstatic what Kawhi Leonard has been able to do and what he looks like he's going to do for many years to come.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Now here's Millsap. It's blocked by Duncan, and they'll keep possession.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know it's going to happen, and they send a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And Leonard has been a great fit with the Spurs culture. Quiet, low maintenance, hardworking, not one for all the glitz and the glamour. You know, he owns one watch, they say. Just focused on basketball, not the lifestyle that it affords.
And the first one at the line is good.
When you talk about Leonard's work ethic, instilled in him from his late father, lost tragically when Kawhi was only 16 years old. But his father used to put him to work at his car wash, made him run hills, and really embedded in him the value of hard work. And his dad's influence and legacy lives on in Kawhi.
He's off on the second.
Al Horford saw last season come to an end after completely tearing his right pectoral muscle. This only 2 years after a similar injury to his left pectoral. And such a terrific player, you certainly hope he can find a way to stay healthy.
Here's Duncan. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. The Hawks trail by 5. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket. He had almost a free run to the hoop that time, Kevin. I mean, that was too easy.
And Horford, the Hawks' longest tenured player, Clark, probably their best player when you take a look at their entire roster. They're a different team with him healthy.
No denying that, Kevin. And with the new front office revamping the roster, going for more financial flexibility, he's the talent they've chosen to build the team around.
And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
Millsap a screen. Horford with a screen on Anderson. Passes it to Carroll. Dishes it to Korver. From 12 feet out. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got 4 rebounds in this game. Anderson kicks today. Outside Leonard. Millsap with the double team. Here's Anderson. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, it is hard to question that Patty Mills was instrumental in the Spurs title run. Getting in the best shape of his life was the key to his breakout season. As Coach Popovich said, he was a little fatty. He had too much junk in the trunk. He came back svelte and cut and understood you have to make better decisions, point guard type decisions. Kevin?
Pop never wanted to hide his feelings, Doris. Thank you. Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Daniel Green, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard, and Tony Parker subbed in for Splitter. Now here's Parker. He kicks it to Anderson. Duncan at the elbow. Duncan right side. That's good. Duncan's got his second basket of the night.
Right now, they've got that field goal percentage up in the low 50s.
Yeah, they're really starting to put it together offensively, looking to build on this lead.
Atlanta calls timeout.
You know, I get the feeling that Tim Duncan would make a mean poker player. With his reluctance to display emotion on the court, it's pretty clear when he's on the court, the big fundamental is all business.
So it's the Hawks now. It's a 5-point game. Parker against Teague. Here's Carroll. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 4 assists now tonight.
And you talk about Duncan's reserved demeanor, snubbed from the All-Star game last season, but you never hear him complain. That's just not how he does things.
Now here's Parker. There's the dish today. On the wing, Green. Here is Day. Guarded by Horford. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And for Duncan, as respected Clark as he is, you wonder if he's gotten the recognition that he truly deserves.
Well, it's like a lot of things, Kevin. Sometimes you don't truly appreciate it until it's gone. But he's one of the 10 best players of all time in my book. Consistency, high-level performance, championships, every measure you use to evaluate him makes him one of the 10 best to play.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, for Tim Duncan and the Spurs, an incredible legacy of dominance. In his 17 years in the league, the Spurs have never won less than 61% of their games, not to mention, of course, 5 finals appearances and 4 NBA championships.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And the Spurs have done an amazing job, Clark.